Peace and blessings. Namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and Rutro. Yeah, we have one of those topics that's going to be difficult to discuss. But I'm going to put this out there as my authentic truth. And once again, what I tell everybody is, if it resonates with you, take it and grasp it. And if it does not, just toss it out. Maybe revisit it at another time, or maybe just disregard it altogether. You are a sovereign being, so you have your rights, your opinions, your perspectives, and everything, okay? But I like to bring out food for thought, because with this mass awakening and new age and ascension, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, information, and we've all got to utilize a great level of discernment to have the ability to navigate through this. So one of the topics that I want to deal with today is dealing with judgment. Yes. It is widely said and accepted that we should simply observe without judging. Okay, and I am in somewhat of an agreement with that, but not 100%. And this is why I'm going to tell you this today. In an effort to observe without judgment means that you literally will have to close down the left hemisphere of your brain, which is designed to process information through logic, reasoning, and analysis. Okay? This is part of your protection. It is not possible, from my perspective, to journey in this life without judging. We judge everything every single day. And this is where we formulate our perspectives and our paths. We judge what jewelry we wear, where we want to live, what cars we drive, what looks good on us. We judge what we consider good and bad behavior. And if you don't think that you judge good and bad behavior, then I would like to ask you this. If you drove past a park where there was a whole bunch of gang violence, would you drop off your kid there and say, hey, I'll be back in an hour or so? Probably not, right? So judgment is part of our journey, okay? So what do we mean when we say not to judge? Well, let's listen to the High Master Yeshu. The verse that we know in the New Testament is, judge not, lest ye be judged, for the same measure that you judge others is the same measure that you will be judged. This is dealing in the realms of hypocrisy. Do you understand? This is dealing in the realms of hypocrisy. We are careful not to formulate judgments against others because the fingers point back to us. So, and whenever we do an accusation against someone else, we draw attention to ourselves. Right? So this is the line that we try very hard not to cross. However, as a sovereign being, you have the ability and the God-given right to judge situations that will affect you personally, your family, and also humanity. This is how we formulate righteousness. This is how we balance the left and the right brain. Do you understand? In an effort to achieve a certain level of discernment, you have to first bring forth a judgment on what it is that you are trying to discern. All right? This is part of our daily life. Okay? This is part of our emotional journey. This is what we were designed to do. This is where brilliance comes from. The ability to take information, siphon through it, through logic, through reasoning, and formulate a judgment, okay? And then from that judgment, we formulate opinions. And then from that opinion, we formulate perspectives, okay? So, yes, I judge things that go on in my life every single day. I have to, okay? Because I have to protect my energy. I have to protect my loved ones. I want the best for all, So therefore, I have the right to not want to deal with bad or what I perceive as negative behavior. All right. So with this new movement comes a lot of double speak, so that I say, double speak. We say free will is the law of the universe, right? And that everyone can operate in their own free will. But that free will only seems to apply when they're in alignment with what we think. Okay? So for those who are saying, free will is the law of the universe, but attacking others that do not agree with your perspective, what does that say? Okay, here we go. We have a free will conundrum that we already went through. Okay, we have a judgment conundrum that we already went through. When we learn to see past the speeches, okay, the movements, and we get right to the meat or the heart of the subject, this is when we fine tune our seeing, our knowing, our creativity. Yes. Because we can listen to a million people, but how does it affect your life? Okay? Cancel culture is a part of all of this non-judgment type of movement, all right? Now, as a sovereign individual, you have the right to walk in non-judgment. You have the right to simply observe and just go on about your business and live in that vein of thought, okay? But is that vein realistic? If you have opinions of one president versus another, you've already judged. If you have opinions on a group versus another group, you've already judged. So it is not possible, okay? It's not possible. But if we're looking at it from the perspective of not passing judgment on people, I get that. And this is why I get that. And this is why I try not to do that. Every being has a story, has a journey, has a past, has trauma, has something that they had to overcome. And sometimes these are the things that start to manifest later on in somebody's personality, in their behavior. What I like to do, for those of us who try not to deal in a judgmental level of humanity, we like to see past the behavior and go to the root of the problem, okay? Because you really never know what somebody else is going through. See, we smile all the time. Yeah. We say hello. But what's really going on? Sometimes you just don't know until you get to the root of the issue. And when you get to the root of the issue, now you can say, well, this is why this behavior is bad, because this is what happened with this person, and maybe they just need to heal. When we say non-judgment, we're saying we are open to receive many and all, okay, into our families, just loving, and just wanting the best for everyone that's involved. But when you do this, you still have to be cautious of the energy that you invite. How do you formulate a judgment? How do you know when somebody is operating in positive or negative energy if you have not drawn a conclusion? And if you have drawn the conclusion, by what merits are you drawing that conclusion? You're judging one way or the other, right? So don't be afraid to stand for something. Okay? Those who don't stand for something typically can fall for anything. You have the right to protect your mind, your values. Okay? You have that right. It has been given to you. That's why your left brain is so strong and powerful. And that's why your right brain is so expansive. The key to all of this is achieving equilibrium. It's not saying throw away the judgment card and just allow in everything, okay? And it's not saying point fingers and constantly judge somebody else for what it is that they're doing. No, it's saying that we don't have to be judgmental to utilize righteous judgment. Do you understand? Get past the doublespeak. And when you're listening to someone, pay attention not only to what they're saying, but what they're not saying. Honey, there's some crafty beings here. Your discernment is your key to get out of this. And if you don't utilize it, you'll get trapped in it, even when you think that you've already escaped it. Remember, those who are not strong enough to think for themselves will have someone else thinking for them. Take my message as a warning. Understand that you can hold solid to your truth. And yes, you can. You have the ability to judge actions and what is applicable for you and what is not. That's all I have to say today. I am Sophie. Trust me, I love you all. Have a wonderful day.